Okay, hopefully you watched that little ad about the Scream exhibit. And so you may go through this magazine with your teacher and learn a little bit more about Edvard Munch, but um, here is the picture up close. And a couple things I want you to know about Edvard Munch is he's from Norway. He's Norwegian, and he died in 1944. So this piece is pretty old. It's been around for a long time. Let's see, it was done in 1893. So it's well over 100 years old. But it is one of the most well-known paintings and parodied paintings that ever existed. And even like if you guys have seen Home Alone, the little boy when he looks in the mirror and puts his hand up like that is also just kind of a parody of the Scream too. So lots of things like that happening. And this piece is a piece from the Expressionism periods. So when you down here you see working with Expressionism. Expressionism means it was more about expressing a thought or an idea than it was about being realistic. Okay, so you can tell this man is not realistic. The sky is not realistic. It's just about getting an idea across. So the first thing I want you to do, we're going to make our own version of the Scream, is I want you to write down 10 things that make you scream. So it doesn't have to be things that scare you, but it could be. It could be frustrating things. It could be I don't know, anything that makes you scream. I guess it could be cheering at a ball game makes you scream. Anything that makes you scream. Write down 10 things and take just a couple minutes and do that. Okay. Okay, so I want you to set your list aside. Okay, and I want you to take your 11 by 17 piece of paper and get your crayons out. And we're going to make the motion lines in this picture with crayons. And then we'll paint over them later. We're going to leave the person out. We're going to do that separately and cut them out and stick them on top. But for now, we're going to make the motion lines. So if you have a copy of this magazine in front of you, you want to leave it. That would probably be pretty good. So you can see that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with orange. And you're going to just make orange lines with gaps across the top. Like this. Okay, and that's kind of mimicking the orange lines across the top of the Scream painting. Okay, then you're going to take a dark brown or a dark black, whatever you can find. That looks like dark brown, but it's purple. Okay, and you're going to go like this, and then you're going to there's a yellow swirl here. We're just going to kind of leave that like that. Okay, and this kind of goes like this. Okay, notice I stopped right here. Hopefully you can see that. If I'm pressing dark enough, I'll go back over this and press darker so you can see it. Okay, and in here, we're going like that. And you could take a ruler, if I could find my ruler, which I can't, so I'm going to use this. I'll use my magazine here. And lay it here and aim down for that, probably more like this. Aim down for the side here like this. And you're going to make a straight line with your brown. And this is the edge of your bridge. Okay? So hopefully you can see that. All right, so we're going to put a few more browns in there like that. And then we're just going to put a few brown lines, not as many, right through here. But through this section, I'm going to put some more. So I want this part to really look brown when we paint on it. Then I'm going to take a yellow, and I'm going to put some yellow swirls in this section right here. Okay? And I'm going to take, like from here down, this is going to be my railing. And the railing starts skinny. Go back to your dark brown, sorry. The railing starts skinny and it gets wider as we go down. Hopefully you can see that. Okay? I'll hold this up too so you get a really good shot of that. But hopefully you can tell that that railing gets skinny and then goes wide down to the bottom. Okay? So I'm going to take some yellows and make lines here that kind of show the boards in there. And I'm going to take a red and put some more boards in that. This is the bottom of that little bridge or that boardwalk thing there. Okay. And I'm going to put some rails in here. So this is my first rail. And I'm actually going to kind of fill that in. Not super dark, so I want to be able to paint over it. But there's the first rail. And then I'm going to come in here like this and put in my second rail and color that in and make that thicker there as well. And then this third rail, I'm going to do the same thing. So hopefully you can see that this is the railing, okay? And then there's lines that go straight up and down here. And that helps that look like the railing of the boardwalk, okay? Okay, and then I definitely need some blue, and it goes in here around this part, okay? And there's just a few little blue swirls in there. And then I think there's a tiny little bit of red in this part as well. Okay, and then there's definitely some red underneath this rail here. And under this rail. Okay. And that is kind of the general crayon outline of the screen, okay? So this is called a watercolor resist. So once we get this far, our next step is we're going to paint over this in watercolor. So I'm going to stop the video here and we'll do that on the next video.